For those of you that think crop circles are beautiful things, then today is your lucky day. Not only do we complete another circle hunt, you'll shortly witness the very same vibrations made by sound and reflected back to us in water, sand and ice. Welcome to Circle Hunters. Hello and welcome to Circle Hunters number 2. Firstly, please do subscribe to this channel if you like what you see. It won't cost you anything, and it'll just mean that eventually, someday, YouTube might give me something towards my production costs. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the show. Now, if you call Circle Hunters number 1, you'll know exactly what happened. We had a good look at the history of the crop circles right back to 1686. And then in the second half, we had a bit more of an adventure. Circle hunting, and we found a newly made crop circle eventually and camped out the night. Yes, we did. We saw some great stuff in the sky and left feeling rejuvenated. Now today we're looking into one particular theory connected with how the crop circles are made. That theory is sound, and sound vibrations more specifically. So in the first section, we have a little bit of a sciencey look at what sound is. Bear with me again until we get to the good stuff. Then following that, we are going to go on a circle hunt, but it's not going to be me that's doing it this time. Oh no, it's my mum. Yes, my lovely mum is going to be going circle hunting herself. And then later on in the show, we're having a little look at the connection between Parkinson's, the condition, and newly made crop circles. Lucy claims to have evidence that the condition can be helped, at least in the short term, if you spend some time in such a crop circle. And my mum, she has Parkinson's, so it's going to make for an interesting look. So, a sine wave is the purest and simplest form of sound. Although not found in nature, it is very, very helpful when it comes to explaining frequencies. Once a wave has completed 360 degrees, that is one cycle. The amount of cycles a wave completes in 1 second, that's known as the frequency. The highest frequencies complete around 20,000 cycles per second, or 20,000 hertz, or 20 kilohertz. We can group our frequencies into two groups, high and low frequencies, the high frequencies being the treble and the low, the bass. The human ear can detect between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. Well, that is until you get a little bit older. In your daily life, you're unlikely to hear too many sine waves going off. You may well hear noises more like this, which are, in fact, a combination of different frequencies and amplitudes. So next time you're talking to someone, I want you to stop and think about what's happening. Your brain has a thought, it then translates that thought into a pattern of pressure waves, then your lungs send air out of your body. But as you do that, you're vibrating your vocal cords in just the right way and moving your mouth and tongue again in just the right way, that it shapes the air as it leaves you. It embeds it with a pattern of high and low pressure areas. The code in that air then spreads out in the vicinity, a little bit of which ends up in your friend's ear, where it passes by their eardrum. When it does that, it vibrates the eardrum in a way that it can pass it on not only the code, but exactly where in the room it came from, and the particular tone of voice it came with. The eardrum's vibrations are transmitted through 3 tiny little bones and into a little sac of fluid, which then transmits information into electrical impulses and sends them up the auditory nerve into the brain, where the information is decoded. Phew! And all of that happens in 1/8 of a second without any effort from either of you. In the 18th century, the German musician and physicist Ernst Chladni noticed that the modes of vibration of a membrane or plate can be observed by sprinkling the vibrating surface with a fine dust. The powder moves due to the vibration, accumulating progressively in the points of the surface corresponding directly to the sound vibration. About you, but these sound vibrations are beginning to look, well, spookily like crop circles. Circles themselves can even be created using sound vibrations. Again, the higher the frequency, the more internal circles the circle could have. Spiral of water was made simply by running a sine wave through it. What you're about to experience should become a healing experience. You're going to listen to 3 specific musical tones, each with a specific healing frequency. Please bear in mind, it might be awkward or uncomfortable from time to time. However, I still advise it's best to wear headphones for this next section. The relationship between geometry, maths and music is especially important in Buddhist mandalas. Elaborate geometries are thought to be the physicalization of chants used for meditation, not to mentioning looking spookily like crop circles. Hey folks, so I've been keeping my eyes peeled, waiting for a crop circle to crop up, so to speak, near my mum's house. Well, today is our lucky day. Just 30 miles from where she lives, this crop circle has emerged. So before we find out how she got on hunting down this beauty, let's have a couple of words from Lucy Pringle first.
Well, it all started a very long time ago. I've been researching the crop circles, as I mentioned before, for 30 years, and our technology improves all the time, so does our methodology. And we've gone from testing on various different aspects of medicine. Many tests. There's one where it's called the glabella test, and if you put your finger against your third eye like that, you'll find that you automatically blink. But if you don't have Parkinson's, you can control it so that you do that and you find you're not blinking. But a Parkinson sufferer cannot control it. They blink all the time. I now have over 800 reports of how people have felt in crop circles or in the near vicinity of them, or even remotely, because you're dealing with frequencies and number of music, as we know, are related. In fact, I've got the largest database in the world on this subject. I was put in touch with a neurologist in the Midlands, and as I haven't got any letters after my name, it took a certain amount of courage and in order to get in touch with him. In fact, it took me 2 weeks to summon up enough courage, and I got him immediately on the end of the telephone, so I launched into my research. She was testing the brain waves, and she was finding that quite a lot of people were spiking. The brain was spiking in the gamma level of brain activity. Now, I know quite a bit about all the other levels of brain activity, but I didn't know anything about gamma. So this was where the research started, and I must say I love research. And I found one tiny little paragraph in one of the many articles that I read saying that in the gamma level of brain activity, the brain naturally produces dopamine. Bingo! Dopamine is normally the chemical that is missing in Parkinson's sufferers, and the medication they're given is often synthetic dopamine. So he stopped me in mid-sentence. He said, "You know, Lucy, this is so fascinating, because this is exactly the line of research that I'm following with my Parkinson's sufferers too." And these were the tests that he was doing, and finding that by raising the brain activity into the gamma level of brain activity, it stopped their dyskinesia. In fact, what he said, it inhibits dyskinesia, and that is, it stops shaking. But we have to say it is temporary, and this is what we're working on, to find really what it is in the crop circle that is enabling people to spike into the gamma level of brain activity. This is the enigma. This is the mystery. This is what we want to discover.
Yeah, one of the things is dystonia, where my particular body doesn't take too well to, and my toes curl up. And I can't walk, and it's quite painful, but it only lasts for a while. And the other thing is dyskinesia, which is a side effect of the Parkinson's medication, which I've been on for quite a few years. A lot of people don't like taking it at all because they're frightened of the side effects, and it basically my right side goes to pieces, and I can't really concentrate on anything until it's gone. So that's the two Ds, are dystonia and dyskinesia, and the other thing is a tremor, which everybody knows about tremors. I've got medicines which I can take which do help, but it never goes away. Probably, I mean, I think I'm quite lucky. It hasn't affected me as bad as some people, that's for sure. It's just a matter of trying to manage your symptoms along with the medication, and always hoping to find something that's not involved with medication. So I was quite interested to go and sit in this crop circle to see if I felt any better.
Bear in mind, Circle Hunter's goal is to arrive at a crop circle within 24 hours of its formation. This time, my mum didn't disappoint. She's there within this time frame. Let's hear a little from my mum about her experiences in that marvellous circle just a day after it was created.
Well, we weren't quite sure where it was, but we did, and it was down some windy country lanes, and looking for a needle in a haystack basically, till we saw a gate, and there was a little collection, certainly one man and I think his son, young son, playing around with a drone. Yeah, I asked him, I said, do you know where the crop circle is? I know it's around here somewhere. And he said, I've just sent my drone over the top of it. It's just over there on your right. There's a friend of mine called Peter, who I didn't think would be particularly interested, but once he got inside that circle, he was just taken by it. Really, I'd been in one before, but he was fairly shocked, I think, because I think he thought all the crops would be pushed down in an untidy manner, but it wasn't like that at all.
What's really neat? So what happens apparently after a newly made crop circle?
Yeah.
Like, you feel like hyper, like
It's
or whatever.
It's hard to judge that because it's exciting as it is, you know?
Well, I know, but I just like, but ideally, I mean, you couldn't shut me up literally for 24 hours.
Well, my friend and I were inspecting it quite closely, and I was excited really because I haven't been to a crop circle since for about, I think it must be 30 years. Yeah, I mean, I was fascinated because it was so neat, absolutely neat. Every bit of it, the way the crops are sort of folded down one way and maybe another bit of that area fold another way, so when you look at it, it seemed to shine on one side.
So sadly, we're running out of time here on Circle Hunters 2. I want to briefly update you on my mum's condition though, since she's been in that very real crop circle. Initially, it wasn't great. She had an ear infection within minutes of leaving and experienced a new Parkinson symptom that she had never experienced before, kind of freezing of the legs, immediately as she left the crop circle. However, since that passed, she's been noticing quite a few other things, like an improved sense of smell, better movement. So, I don't know, you have to stay tuned to obviously. And then, after we've been to visit Lucy Pringle in her science day on August the 16th, I'll report back more to you then. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then you can be up to date with any live performances happening and any future updates as well. You hit the notification button, that'll do the trick. Okay, thank you for watching.